Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the QLS channel. We are back for another match of the URC. We've just finished watching the game between the Sharks and the Lions, and then the Sharks getting themselves the victory. Now we get to see another South African derby on Christmas Eve here in New Zealand. This one's Stormers taking on the Bulls. There's a lot on the line for these two sides. Looking at the way the table did sit before this contest, or before the last South African derby as well. As you can see, the Sharks, they were actually finding themselves sitting in 10th. In fact, that's the wrong one. They were down there in 10th. Now they find themselves up here in 5th. So they are sitting on the same points as the Lions with a game in hand. Here we see the Stormers and the Bulls sitting on the same points, 34 points apiece. The winner of this game will get themselves that spot in second at the end of the round. Leinster, as you can see, they're 9 from 9. They're on fire this year in the United Rugby Championship. And I believe the next time they play a South African side is actually in about February. So it's a little while till we get to see that happen. But I believe it's the Stormers who will be taking them on when it does take place. Looking through at the starting lineups and reserves of these two sides, a strong Stormers outfit here. Stephen Kitsoff, Joseph Dweber, and Frans Malaharba in the front row, all in that Springbok kit throughout the last 12 months or so. Ben Jackson Dixon at number 4, Marvin Ori at 5. Then in the loose forward trio will be Dion Foree, Willie Engelbrecht, and then also Diamani at number 8. So no Evan Ruas for this matchup, which I'm sure he'll be disappointed about. Would have loved to go head-to-head with another South African side. Looking through the back line, Paul de Vet, starting scrum half, Mani Lebok at 10. Recently got himself the chance with the Springboks. Also, Lillian Zas out on the left wing, Dan Duplessis, and also Hudsonberg in the midfield combination. Angelo Davids, the star from the Sevens, out on the right wing, and then Damian Valimza will be slotting in as the Stormers number 15. We will quickly look through the balls, but first of all, we have got Melissa in the chat, and also Chad has said, "Good morning, you walking tripod." Hello, Chad. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're excited for Christmas, mate. We are not too far away from it taking place. Number 1 for the Bulls, it will be Gerhard Stenkamp, Johan Grubler at 2, and Mornay Smith, the man who you can't see because of the Christmas symbol up in the top corner. He is there as the tight head prop. Rohan Vermaak at number 4, Rohan Nokia at number 5. So a couple Rohans in the locks today. Marco van Staren at 6, Brink at 7, and Heinrich Loh, I should say, going to be slotting in as the last man in that 4-pack. Looking through the back line, Ambros Papier at 9, Johan Hulsen 10. Then on the left wing, it will be Cannon Moody, Harold Foster and Lionel Wapo as the midfield, Cornell Hendricks, and then Kurtley Arnonse as the last man in the lineup. Now, he's playing fullback. He has been playing very well for the Springboks out on that left or right wing. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do up against quite a few of his Springbok teammates. Also, Nick, I've been looking through the bench, a few of the key players off the bench for me. Definitely, if you're going to pick one, Clayton Blommetjies. He's been sensational for the Stormers throughout the last little while. And I think also JJ Kurtzau, another very important player for the Stormers, because we have seen in the past, unfortunately, Joseph Dweber's lineouts are not very accurate. And I don't think he'll mind me saying that because everyone at this point kind of knows that point. So hopefully it goes better in this game for him. Chris Smith off the bench with Trevino Jacobs, some very handy players coming off the bench for the Bulls. I think a big player here is going to be Bismarck Duplessis. Whether or not he gets it right or whether he ends up getting a yellow card, that is the, I guess, intriguing nature of the later stages of this matchup we have got there. How do you see this game going, says Chad? I see the Bulls coming in as underdogs, only slight underdogs I did see from the betting odds, but I think they might be able to get the job done. I think I went Bulls by 5 in my first initial prediction. I'll stick with that. Bulls by 5. Don't get me wrong, the Stormers side is extremely strong. No Evan Ruiz in the forward pack makes me a little bit concerned for them, but other than that, they're still looking very class as always. Their backline's looking great. I think Kurtley Arnonse and Cannon Moody might be pretty handy here for the Bulls. And that 4-pack, I mean, it's still, the thing is, I'm either Bulls by 5 or Stormers by 15. I think if the Stormers find their momentum early, they're going to just keep on going and going and going. Now, I should mention the Bulls. They are going to be wearing the pink for this matchup. No, Betty, how could you wait? You said Lions to win, so you're jinxing it and making the Bulls lose. Good man, says Gareth. And morning, Amish brother, unlucky Lions, says Birdie V. And there it is, going for the Bulls by 7. And this awesome matchup. But this will be the second South African derby of the day. Feel like we're being spoiled, I should say. Christmas has come early for us here in New Zealand, and not just because of the time zones. We do actually get Christmas before South Africa this year and every year. Ever. Just with the way that the world works. Stephen Kitsoff, the DHL Stormers captain, will be excited for this game. Paul de Vet. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. And even though I said that the Stormers may lose this game, I'm going to say Paul de Vet scores a try. I think he's going to have a very good running line, joining up with, I don't want to get too specific because I know I'll probably just dig myself a hole of getting things very wrong. But I'll say he's linking up with Dan du Plessis, sneezes on the inside, and bangs straight through for the try. I know Buddy Lyons made too many mistakes. There's Birdie V. They certainly did. We saw quite a stop-start game between the Sharks and the Lions. I'm hoping this one's a bit more free-flowing. At least Cape Town's looking a lot drier than it was for the Cape Town Sevens final because the stadium was almost underwater at this point. I thought that players were going to need a boat to get home. What we will do quickly, because I sneezed, we'll go like this. And we are now good to go, ladies and gentlemen. Almost for this matchup. Looks like the referee just getting his mic pack done. Yep, he's all good. And now we are ready to go for another match of the URC. Do let me know your score predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Also, alongside that, how many points you think both of these sides will be able to get. AJ Jacobs is going to be in charge of this one. Right, we're ready to go. Going to be kicked off long and deep into the 22. Nicely taken straight away by, I believe it was Damian Willemsen. Okay, bets on. If the vet scores or doesn't score, a try next stream is in a hot tub. I would have to buy a hot tub. That would be an expensive venture for the start of 2023. I was going to say I could stream from a bucket, but then I would have very much regretted that statement. The Scarlets versus Ospreys coming. That's going to be good. Says Gareth, it's just a shame they're not showing it here in New Zealand. Sadly, we don't actually get all of the URC games unless they involve, it seems to be if they involve a South African side, we get the game. And if it's an Irish derby involving Leinster and Munster, we get the game. But we don't actually get the games taking place between, like Ulster Connacht's happening, and we don't actually get that one. On 38-12, the Stormers in there as well, says Gareth. Currently, the Bulls got this one. Mornay Smith, 45 meters out from the line, it looks like. They are going to be rolling it back, and Ambrose Papi are going to be putting the ball high here. Getting it down towards the 22. Chasing after this one. Moody hasn't been able to claim it. Is this going to be the penalty? And a little bit of push and shove already. We're only like, what are we, a minute 20 in, and players are already not really liking each other for this match in Cape Town. But it was a great take from Angelo Davids. Gets right up, jumps and gets under the high ball, and then was just taken out in the air by Ruan Nokia, who almost got his knee crushed as well in the process. Would have been a bit unfortunate for the big man. So Marnie Lebock now is going to be able to kick this one down towards the touchline. Okay. Okay, AJ Jacobs on the commentary, or sorry, not on the commentary, but for the refereeing side of things, has just said, right, we all knew that was going to happen. Now that it's happened, we've got it out the system. We're not having that happen again. Pretty much the call. Next one who starts it may end up going to the bin was AJ Jacobs' comment there as well. And also, we have got there, well, I hope so. We owe those Jack Masters. Says Fleshin, right? Marnie Lebock. Hey, the referees now have spray, which is something that's kind of new. I saw in the last match as well, the touch judges actually have the opportunity to put down a line of white stuff. I'm not talking about the after party, 40 meters out from the line now for the Stormers. Ambrose Papia goes off to Ruan Nokia. Another penalty, but this time it's going to go against the Bulls for player leaving his feet in the breakdown. Stormers get the penalty. This should be a relatively easy kick if they want it. I'm not sure if they do at this point. The Stormers, they may look to go aggressive. They have throughout the rest of the season, looking for the corner in most of their other games. But this one, because it's only 2 minutes in, they will take on the 3 points and Bulls 25-15, says Birdie V. Nokia, I think, might have actually been, yeah, he was the player who took the carry, and then, yeah, legal clean out right from the side. Ryan Vermaak, not even close to going through the gate for that one. Nice, easy penalty for the Stormers to start this match off. And it will be Marnie Lebok with the kicking tee today. Was the expected option due to, I guess, even watching the Springboks, you know that Marnie Lebok, more than likely out of him or Valimza, will be the man taking on the kicks. From further out, they may consider going Valimza, but in South Africa, normally get some decent distance on it anyway. And good score, mate. Says Birdie V there. Now, Marnie Lebok. First kick of the day, about 35 metres out, straight out in front. Should be, I say should be simple. I wouldn't be able to kick it this far. And I'll probably miss by quite some margin as well. But Lebok, he's got the good kicking technique. He's about to take this shot. Kicks it nice and true, straight down the middle. And that is now going to be 3-0 in favour of the home side. If the Bulls lose last week's loss, would have been for nothing. There's Dead June 9, because they said about how they were rotating the squad, didn't they, a little bit for those Champions Cup fixtures. So it's going to be interesting to see how they end up going. I think, was it Jake White who said that the Champions Cup was harder than he expected it to be? Now, of course, the Stormers and the Bulls, they both love to go far in the URC competition. Actually, the final last year, I believe, if I'm not wrong there. And hello again, you Kiwi lads, Rock and our old-time Hamish. I feel the Stormers to win, but the Bulls are going to be tough, says Roof there. Yeah, I could see this one going down to the wire. I hope it does to an extent. A little bit less of a runaway than what we saw between Sharks versus Lions. Currently, the Bulls on the halfway line attacking. It's Gerhard Stennekamp there with a nice carry. Now, Johan Horsen in behind, line on Mapo. Goes across now. Big fend in the midfield from Kurtley Arendse, joining the line quite nicely here for the Bulls. And I think Jake White is playing mind games, says Chad there. And anyone watched that schools competition, there was a lad with such a boot. I tell you what, it was awesome that they were actually showing all those games on YouTube, on the Rugby Pass YouTube channel. And I hope that they look at that and decide to do more of that in the future, with it being more easily accessible for everyone. Because, yeah, the Schoolboys Rugby competition, you always see those up-and-coming guys. Great cross kick. Johan Horsen finding Cornel Hendricks, who did slip, unfortunately, on the Cape Town turf. Now down the wing again, Kurtley Arendse. Couple extra metres made. Another big run. This time it is Johan Grubler. And guys, where can I stream live games? Says Nicholas, I believe. Depending on whereabouts you are in the world, Nicholas, will depend on your options. But if you're in New Zealand, it's Spark Sport. If you're in South Africa, it is DSTV. I believe that's the only option. That's gone out on the full from the Bulls. Getting that kick wrong from Johan Horsen. Was chasing the 50-22. Didn't manage to get it too cleanly. And us Coastal boys got to stick together also. Went to school in Cape Town, says Gareth. Johan Horsen losing his side a good 40 or so metres there by trying to kick it downfield. Now, Joseph Dweber, this is the testing pretty much situation of the game, I would say, to an extent. And that is, can Joseph Dweber throw a ball straight? Let's see the first one. He's been working on it a bit, I believe, Joseph Dweber. How's that one? Not bad. It's relatively straight from Dweber. Improvement already. Now the rolling maul march in here for the Stormers. Looks like it's been cut in half by the Bulls trying to stop it. It goes down, but they have still got it at the back. Paul DeVette goes across now. Nice work from Dan Duplessis. Gets it to Lebok, looking for the offload. Does find it. Jumping on that one. Kurtley Arendse getting the turnover, though, on the Bulls now with another opportunity. And 45 minutes out. We've already seen more running rugby in the first 6 minutes of this game than we did in the first maybe 20 minutes of the last matchup as well. Now it's kicked them behind once again. I might have just jinxed that. Sits up for Marnie Lebok. Puts it high. Damien Valimza chasing it hard. And gets it. Slaps it back onto the side of the Stormers. It's a knock on though. But first from the Bulls, and it will be the scrum feed now for the Stormers. And love that comment. Can you throw the ball straight? These are the Titans of South Africa Rugby, Bulls and the Stormers, says Ruth Lackle Redshaw from Sedberg, Scotland. 53 metres, no bother, Says Eric there. And Hamilton boys are a great side. Says Jad and Oman Horson. Says Birdie V. And also Stormers by 3 points. Amishly Stork. Danger men for the Stormers. So for me, the danger men definitely. I mean, there's different danger men for situations. I'd say Damien Valimza, when he joins the line, can certainly be one of those dangerous options. You've got Kitsoff and Malharba, though. I feel like they need a fair amount of credit because scrum time's where they normally shine. They're about to try it up against this Bulls side for the first time in this match. And 10 likes, guys. Smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Exactly right. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. And 2 cents likes this comment. Says Gareth in there as well. And Flow Rugby has the entire URC. It is USA-based company, so you need a VPN and then sign up. But they are reasonable and also show most international games. Says Skeptic, and come on the ball, says Marcel. So we're going to have a scrum reset straight away between the sides. Might be a bit scrappy for a start, I think, when they're just trying to get their footing. You can hear some birds absolutely going berserk in the background here in New Zealand. We're sitting 6:30 a.m, so that might be why they've decided that it's almost Christmas. They got to get the Christmas shopping done today. Go and get a new nest, perhaps. All the vet. About to put the ball in for the Stormers. We're waiting for the front rows to behave themselves. Right, they've binded. And it goes in. Okay, decent scrum. Looks very solid. No one taking that. Oh, no, it's just gone down in the front rows. There's going to be no advantage for either side now. Off the back, Diamani hits it hard at the line. Tackled well by Harold Foster. And the penalty goes the way of the Stormers. This one's definitely a kickable 3 again if they want it. But they could also look for the corner, try and maybe progress the game a bit further for the Stormers side. Bonus points could be massive when it comes to getting home finals or away finals. Big shot on Diamani by Harold Foster. Then from there, just wasn't able to roll away quick enough as his teammate was going in. Maka van Starren trying to get over the ball, wasn't able to. They will take the 3 points here, Stormers, as well. Not a bad option. Once again, just ticks over that scoreboard. Keeps it going quite nicely for them currently. Quite a bit of support for Marnie Lebok by the looks of it in the crowd, as well as he's currently 1 from 1. Looking to make that double here. Have you taken some break at the end of the previous match? I got about a maybe 5-minute break. What we ended up doing during that time was we quickly got a drink and then also made that little picture for the way that the table currently sits, as it was different, and I didn't want to leave the Sharks in 10th with the fact that they have made the jump from down there right up to there. So I decided I'd do that updated one, and then pretty much it was time for the match. So straight back into it. Lebok now. This one's slightly easier than the last. Only a little bit of a marginal angle. It's gone straight down the middle. And it will now be 10 minutes down in this match. 6 points to 0 in favour of the home side, the Stormers. Both of these sides sitting on 34 points going into this match. So someone will keep themselves in second. And then the other side will be in third as we currently sit. Go the Bulls 30-19 over the Stormers, says Marie there. And Bulls are good, but I think a lot of that is down to Jake's coaching, says Skeptic. And come on the Bulls, says Marcel. But earlier on, that was a big shot on Dan Duplessis. Was it high, though? I think, yeah, he's asking about it, Dan Duplessis. Corner Hendricks, he might have actually accidentally done a flying headbutt there. Might have been a bit of contact between the two of them. Our ball's going high. Aldervet gets it nicely. It's going to be a knock-on, or is it now? It's going to be the advantage. Kudley Arinsa finds the offload on the inside. We are yet to see much of Cannon Moody, but now there's a chance it may go out to his wing if they continue. Going to the left. Couple big bump-offs there from Vermaak. Now, Johanna Horsen goes off to Stennekamp, only 22 out from the line now. Papia, nicely recycled. Horsen runs straight into the big man, Franz Malharba. That would have hurt. Now, losing the footing again. In fact, it's a knock-on advantage. Must have got a little bit of a hand to that one of the Stormers players. Almost a turnover. Yes, it is, but they will go back for the original knock-on advantage. Dan Duplessis, they're just going to show this one here. When the player came through, yeah, see, that's head-on-head between Maka van Starden and Dan Duplessis. They might say that it was shoulder on shoulder first, but there was a bit of head on head. And I was like, what's for breakfast, mate? Having a braai this side, says Birdie V. I was going to have a bit of a breakfast in between the streams. I ran low on time, though, so I haven't had it yet, but I'll probably just have wheat mix, to be honest. Stock standard. They are just showing this Mako van Staden one. Crowd have now just seen it. So I believe that might become a penalty in favour of the Stormers. Kitsoff must show his old talents. He went off the boil for a while. Let's hope he's back to his best again, says Ruth. Okay. There's a big, that's the thing. It was hit at pace. Dan Duplessis was asking for it. It was interesting though, because he went, I've been hit in the head. And then after that, he kind of went, oh, because it just hit him straight after. A little bit of the late reaction from Dan Duplessis. It definitely looks like the Bulls are concentrating on the URC and sacrificing the Champions Cup, says Skeptic there. Big shot. I think this is going to be at least a yellow card for Mako van Staden here. And a Wheatpick sounds good, says Birdie V. But he came in at pace. My first initial reaction when it was happening live was this looks a little bit high. Yeah, it's a tough shot though. Right, they do have foul play. Direct contact to the head. Okay, because of the dynamic of the tackle beforehand, there is mitigation. So that's why it goes down from a red card to a yellow card. So Mako van Staden, he will be missing for the next 10 minutes of this game. That is the last thing the Bulls needed in a contest that they know they're going to have to be on their A game for the full 80 minutes. Get on in contact, slight dip. So it's going to be a yellow card. And also must see and take note, happened to Eddie Jones. It's very competitive out there, says Roof. And also we've got the vodka for dinner for me, says Fleshin. Yeah, Van Staden, he will be off until about the 22nd minute of this contest. Oh, Manny Lebok. Going to be kicking this one for the touchline. So that will help the Stormers get out of their own danger zone as well. They were going to be conceding the scrum. Instead, though, they do end up getting to march right down towards the 40-metre line of the Bulls. We're now missing one of their players, the number 6. So that means maybe a rolling more on the cards here for the Stormers if they get this throw right. Joseph Weber once again. It's up to you. Yellow is lucky. Good for the game, says Skeptic. And I was how you mate, says Birdie Vita's flesh in there. Right, 1 from 1 so far for Joseph Weber. All the gaps been closed a little bit. They're going to have a blow of the whistle. Okay, I made a clear mark here. I'm not going to warn you again as the comment from AJ Jacobs. And Van Staden was unlucky. They need to have a look at that rule, says Birdie V. Nicely retained by the Stormers. That's 2 from 2 throws now. But Weber, nice run from Damien Williams. I moved to 40 metres out, pulled the vet. Quick hands, LeBock. Great attacking run there. Who is that who flew through like a freight train? I think that might have been possibly Willie Engelbrecht. Now back across. Here comes Dion Forey. Diamani on the outside. 5 metres out. He's had his ankles taken out from underneath him. He might have still made it over the line, did he? Being given his no try for Diamani. Was it a legal tackle? I think he had his legs chopped out from underneath him. But Ruanoki is asking AJ Jacobs to look at something else. Pass the ball around. Put it on. You guys, TAB, says Nazi Williams. Yeah. Curtly Arinsa decides that he wants to try and stop Diamani from only a couple metres out from the line. He's done it pretty effectively. Going low, trying to go around the ankles. Come charging in, though. And then he did try and go for the second movement of putting the ball over the line, which is why it's actually become the try. And we can watch this game live online, says Southern. If you're looking for an option, if you're in South Africa, it does seem to be DSTV is that option. What time are you starting South Africa versus Australia game on the 26th, says Rudy. So that will be around 12:25 p.m. New Zealand time, which I believe, if I'm not wrong, works out to be about 1:25 a.m. South African time. Brave that tackle arm using everything, says Skeptic. Yeah, he just was like, well, if I'm going to stop him from scoring, I've got to try and go low and just try and cut him down where he runs from. Pretty much, if you're going to try and take down a tree, you might as well start at the stump. I think that's what Curtly Alrinsa tried. I hope the Bulls lose to teach that cocky Jake White a lesson in there and brave tackle that. And also, okay, I'd like to change my prediction. Stormers are looking good, says Chad. They currently are. And with the man advantage, the next 10 minutes or so for the Bulls, I think that will do them a world of good. But currently now looking for that rolling maul. It's on at the back for Johan Robler. Currently only 6 points down, though, for the Bulls. So if they get themselves a try coming soon, that's going to be the penalty for the VODACOM Bulls. So they will once again be able to march just a bit further up the field. At least Jake is concentrating on something, says Skeptic there. And I'm having Brian, not Wheatbix, says Booty V. Johanna Wilson kicking this one downfield towards the touchline. That works out pretty well for the Bulls as that uses up a bit more of the time. The Bulls are going to have to pull up their pants, says Rudy. And I was a bit too late in the day for that, but sounds a good shout for Christmas, says Fleshin. Yeah, Christmas actually getting closer and closer. And I'm not going to say 24 hours time because I doubt I'll be up at 6:30 on Christmas Day morning, but from about 30 hours time, we're going to be Christmasing. Ladies and gentlemen, here in New Zealand, the Stormers do tend to struggle in the second half, though, says Dead Tune 9. It seems to me they're very good at getting their 3 or so tries in the first half, and then from there, managing to get that last one when needed. But the Bulls have been a second half side in the URC competition this year, if I'm not wrong. So it might be a little bit of a game of two halves, perhaps, between them. Looks like they are having a water break already. Must be very warm in Cape Town for them to need a water break after only the 15 minutes or so. But we've seen that Nassam Carr has actually made his way out onto the field. That is due to, I believe, an HIA. And also Bulls forwards looking to apply the slow poison. Says Skeptic and Stormers a dreadful second half, no depth. And also certainly has he been busy. Is Fleshin. Currently we've got a Bulls sign in there and a kit. That is commitment. Not only wearing a kit, but then also, it's a chugging contest between two mates. Oh, no, the guy on the left's nailed it. That's about $10 worth of chugging they've just done. And that man spelt half of it down his front because he wanted to win the race. And still lost. Now, will be the Bulls once again able to kick this one further down the field. Drinks have been done. I'm going to actually check the temperature in Cape Town. What is the temperature in Cape Town? No, not my temperature. What is the temperature in Cape Town? Oh, it's actually only 19 degrees. I thought it would have been warmer with the drinks break this early, but I guess with that injury stoppage, it did make sense to take it now. And all Stormers all the way. Says Johannes currently going the short side here. Cornell Hendricks ducking under one challenge, but kits off. He got his hands over the ball. He sure does and wins the penalty in the process. Nicely done by the Stormers. It would be an extremely long kick if they decided to go for it. Have they announced the attendance yet? Not yet. I believe the last game they had 21 or 27,000. Or maybe 23. It was one of those three numbers. This attendance, though, they are yet to let us know. Right, Mani Labok kicks it downfield, finds the touchline. 35 metres out from the line now, and the South Africans, once again with the Cape Town, or not with the Cape Town, I was about to say with the Cape Town Sevens, but with the Stormers in position, will look to attack. Possession so far, though, 68% for the Bulls. I find that surprising because they've had a lot of ball, but they haven't done a lot with it. I think that's definitely something that they need to work on for the rest of this half. Yeah, 24,500 at the Sharks game. Nicely taken by Diamani again currently. 3 straight lineouts for the Stormers. Damien Willemse, first receiver there. Joseph Weber now trying to break through his opposite numbers defense, but Johan Grubbeler, great defense there to stop him. Now, kicked him high from Mani Labok. Goes straight into touch off the grubber. So now the Bulls will be able to have this one 30 metres out from their line. And once again, this benefits the Bulls because this uses up a little bit more time off the yellow card where they are missing Marco van Staden. Another line-out opportunity, Johan Grubbeler. Looking to throw this one in. Ranokia, a little bit more of a leadership role, I would think, throughout this game now for this Bulls side. One of the more experienced players out there. Now, Grubbeler To throw it in, they go to the back, nicely taken by Heinrich Lowe. Stacked straight away by the Stormers, and it was illegally, so they will end up with the penalty advantage now for the Bulls, looking to get this ball in. Bros Papier goes back across. Johan Horsen tries a chip and chase. It's gone about a half a metre, and now it's going back for another penalty for the Bulls. So this first 10 minutes or so started off with not a lot of start-stop, and now we're up to that stage how it seems to be a lot of penalties going against the two sides. Hopefully that doesn't affect the game too much throughout the rest of the half. I think our camera just flicked on and off. Hopefully it is all right now, though. Johan Graveler, go kick downfield. So about 30 metres out from the Bulls line, and also Firmina said, come on, boys. And there's us. Who are you going for in this match? Firmina, do let me know. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've got plenty more URC Champions Cup and also the South African Sevens coming up in the near future when they do take place. And Singapore in New Zealand, it's actually Hamilton, sorry. The Stormers lost their first two URC matches against the Bulls, but have won 3 on the bounce since. Bit of a fun fact there. Ranokia will start the 2027 World Cup. You heard it here first. Also, is that for Etzebeth, or is that for, I guess, Diacha, or maybe... The thing is, I don't see Hiron Andrews, Marvin Ori, or any of those guys quite at the level they need to be yet to consistently get the starts. But by 2027, I'd like to think that they'd get there. All right, Johan Robelo once again. Another line-out throw for the Bulls. They go to the front. Nicely taken. Now back across. Going to be a Papier's cut-out pass. Goes just to Kurtley Aronsa. That looked a bit high. Yes, it was, and it's going to be the advantage against Damien Valimza. Cannon Moody, his first chance of the day. Taken down 40 metres out from the line here. The Bulls have had a lot more phase play. But I would say to an extent, the Stormers have probably made more metres in the process than high tackle. Yikes, 14 men. Says Roof there. Well, the one against Maka van Staden, although in 3 minutes' time, they will be back to the 15. Okay. Dion Forêt and Ambros Papia release each other there. They've done well to defuse that situation. Yeah, Kurtley Aronsa tried to go through and just caught round the neck by Damien Valimza. I don't know who was complaining more, Damien Valimza that he thought the referee was going to card him, or Kurtley Aronsa for the fact that the referee hadn't blown the penalty yet. I hope Eben is still around in 2027. So how old is Eben Etzebeth at the moment? How old is Eben Etzebeth? Suri's a great thing, isn't she? 31. So 2027, you're looking at a 37-year-old Eben Etzebeth, who's probably still got 1% body fat and a six-pack for days. But I guess it's just whether or not, normally with those taller players, it's the knees and the ankles that start giving out. And Evan will be a movie superstar in 2027 or assistant coach, says Roof, and I don't rate Marvin Ori. Yeah, see, for me, there are a lot of guys in that locking position for the Springboks that they don't seem to have another option. Because for me, currently, you got Etzebeth, you got Diacha, and then you probably go as your other backup, actually, Franco Mostert, as a bit of a utility forward. But Ori and also, who else did they had in that jersey? Salman Mora, I feel like he's still not quite ready. Oops, I just yanked something, so hopefully that didn't unplug. But I feel like they're still waiting for that next guy. And as I was saying, I've never rated Marvin Ori really lightweight. I want to marry Eben just quietly, says Duzzy Williams. Fair enough. I feel like there's a lot of people out there who would want to marry that man. Now, the Valimza. One more wide. Lillian Zuss tried to get it in behind. Good driving tackle there. Nice work. In fact, that might have been Hudsonberg who put in the big shot. The Bulls inside of their 22 again. Who's 31? Fast and Furious out there. Desperate tackles. I mean, lethal out, says Ru. So, yeah, Eben Etzebeth, 31 years old at the moment. And also Hiron Andrews, says Skeptic. Andreas Becker, says Drekas. And also the Stormers, says Gilmore. Speaking of the name Drekas, has anyone been seeing the South African Drekas du Plessis in the UFC tearing it up at the moment, actually beating Darren Till in his last fight? RG Snyman, there's another option. It's just more of the case of whether or not he's going to be injury-free. Great take from Damian Valimza on the 22. Right, at this point, with the man advantage for another 5 seconds, this is when you take a kick for the corner. I know it's a close game and 3 points could be quite handy, but this is where the Stormers have to show some aggression, and I think that's how you can do it. Yeah, I saw that fight says flesh in there. Yes, they've kicked for the corner. Right. That is the best case scenario for them. And Darren Till's head wasn't there. That fight, says Nazi Williams. It's a shame because ever since his fight with Jorge Masvidal, he just seems to have gone downhill, Darren Till. That rhymes, but it wasn't supposed to. And Elman Jones is like 109 now, so I rate Evan will still be around. Drickus Duplessis is fighting very well. Love his attitude. Says Skeptic. Nicely taken by Diamani at the back. The rolling maul looking very strong for the Stormers. Kits off 1 meter short. Oh! Time off. This sounds like it could be a penalty try here. And if it is, that will actually be another man going to the bin. Give me time, I'll explain it to you. I wish RG Snyman had stayed fit. And also come on the Stormers, take the Bulls down. Says Megan. Right. It's going to be a yellow card and a penalty try. This time it's Heinrich Lowe who will be going off the field. So they're only just going back to 15, and now they go back to 14 again. Because Heinrich Lowe did end up illegally infringing for that rolling maul, I was going to say. Hope the voice doesn't cut out before Christmas. I don't want to have to whisper. I'm collapsing, says Skeptic there. And also another yellow for the Bulls. Yeah, if they're going to play this whole game with 14 men, I think it's going to be pretty one-sided. And Percy Montgomery, Abraham van Straten, hopefully I said that correctly. And remember, Corne Krege, was it? Stormers captain a few years back, Hamish. The last one doesn't ring a bell. Krege. I'll probably, if I see a picture of him, I'll probably be like, oh yeah, him. But just off name, for some reason, it isn't hitting the memory bank. Right, the score, 13 points to 3. Of course, they don't have to convert that one as it was a penalty try. Now Johan Hussen will be kicking this one off again for the Stormers. Bulls losing this on poor discipline. They are, unfortunately, it's just been penalty after penalty. They've had more possession. And Michael Duplessis and also Karel says, Rikas, I would pay good money to see a fight between Etzebeth and Lavanini. Maybe one day we'll get to see it as like a charity boxing match or something. I know that they've done that a bit in the rugby league side of things in the past. And also, I think we've seen a few rugby union players do it, such as, I know Kevin Milamu was going to be fighting, but unfortunately had a health scare just before the fight with his heart. Wasn't able to. But currently a 91% chance that the Stormers go on to win this game. That's very high. In fact, that is extremely high. And also, as the guy who made Richie McCaw train harder in the gym, create a monster, says Skeptic there. Oh, Sebastian, you're so funny. Evan will make good beauty, says Ruth there. Now, Harold Foster does well. That Duplessis surname I say it's quite common in South Africa. Could be wrong, coming from a Kiwi, says Nazi Williams. No, it is one of the more common surnames in South Africa. I'm trying to think of what a common Kiwi surname is now. I don't know. What's a common Kiwi? I guess we kind of get our surnames from other places, though, like in terms of like Davids, maybe. Davidson, actually, probably relatively common here in New Zealand. Now, Lionel Mapo goes across the crowd trying to get behind their Stormers defense, but Papia goes across again. Nice quick hands to Veramak. So Joseph Dweber a little bit slow getting back up to his feet. I don't know if he was injured or just tired. There, Williams is another relatively common one. It's going to be close to the turnover. No, it's an advantage against the Onfuri. Second player on the ball. Oh, he wasn't able to get that one. Now, nice big fem from Curly Arons. Oh, he's tackled high again. About the second or third time he's had one around the chin strap. Nice run. Harold Foster up the middle. Just didn't quite have that acceleration to get away. Looks like Damian Valimza might be staying down with an injury here as well. Now the cross kick from Johan Horsen. 3 Bulls players chasing it. It's going to be Nasamka. And he goes over. The Bulls get there first. That's a bit of a shame. I was going to check the betting odds before they scored, but now it'll be a lot closer. A common Kiwi surname, Williams. And there's and the Bulls score, says Booty V, and everyone looks up to Ma'anonu, who is a superstar, fabulous player, says Ruth there. Right, do they have odds for this matchup? They do. So the Bulls were $6 underdogs, but I believe that will cut down quite a bit now due to them scoring that try. And it's probably a good time to score right when they were still with the man disadvantage. Nassim Carr and Angelo David's on him. He was trying to stop him in any way that he could. And Stampede incoming. So, yeah, if they can get into halftime with 2 yellow cards and only be less than 5 down, be a pretty good effort from the VODACOM Bulls for the first half. And now Johanna Hurson, important kick. And this will actually make it only a 3 points difference if this kick goes over. I think Hurson's got a good chance of cracking this one straight down the middle from the touchline. He's just one of those players who, when he's confident, he's doing well. If the ball run on, says Sighted, not quite. Once they have 15 players on the field, maybe. Ma'anonu, Richie McCaw, Piri Wepu doing the haka. The intensity of it would make you shake your pants off, says Sebastian. Hurson. Yep, straight down the middle. So that will now make the score 13 points to 10 in favour of the Stormers. Still with a man advantage. The Bulls doing nicely there. Umanga as well, says Nazi Williams. Yeah, Tana Umanga was a scary man when doing the haka. That man's got a Bulls ring on his face. He's dyed his face blue as well. He's going to go to Christmas as a Smurf. Looks like Clayton Blomicky's right. He's on the field. That is actually for Damien Valimza, I believe. I think we're taking a second drinks break. Looks like Conrad Smith and Jacques Fourie, best centres ever. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people said how good Ma'anonu was, but I believe something that really made Ma'anonu great was having Conrad Smith with him in that midfield. I feel like Conrad was probably that kind of vision brain between them, and Ma'anonu was just like, if I'm told what I'm going to do or if I see a gap that I want to go through, those guys are having another sculling competition. And once again, that was a bit closer. Still can't win it, though, unfortunately. It seems to be every drinks break, those two guys decide to have a scull of a beverage. That's like I mentioned, $10 a pop to be able to do that. So the commitment is real from the Cape Town supporters. Currently, we have seen the last 3 encounters. 18 points to 13 in favour of the Stormers was the most recent. And Nazi Williams, Beauty Umanga and Kevin Mialamu. There's a roof there. So the Bulls went from $6 underdogs to $2.80 underdogs just with that try being scored. Bros Papia rolling the ball back now for the Bulls. Currently just inside of their 22, but it has been taken back. So unable to kick this one out on the full. Go straight up the middle. Bromakis takes it beautiful. He has been sensational since making his way to the Stormers. And you know they've got a good side if he is the man who's often missing from that starting lineup. And that one Hakatana led against the friends in France. Powerful man, says Nazi Williams. And it must be a nice time down in Cape Town. Now big run from the block. He's lost the ball forward though. Stolen back by the Bulls, who are starting to find their momentum a little bit. Like mentioned a bit earlier on, 25 likes, says Birdie V. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already. It's hugely appreciated. That's a knock-on now, this time from the Bulls. But they are going to go back for the original knock-on, and it will be the Bulls who have got the scrum feed. Do a Russell Packer one. That's right on the field in full view, says Nazi Williams. Didn't Jerry Collins also do something similar to that in a game? Not quite in full view, but I think he popped it out of his shorts because he needed a tinkle, so he just went, now it's good. And Blomikis has been really good since he moved to Cape Town. What a coup in there. And Sebastian, what about Daniel Carter? What a gorgeous specimen of a player. Even advertised jockey underwear. Phew, I need a drink now, says Ruth. Very popular man amongst the ladies, Daniel Carter, wasn't he? I think he still is. He still looks the same as he did like 10 years ago. Dan Carter. Also, I've got Nazi having a laugh there. Currently 28 and a half minutes through. Still another maybe 5 minutes of that yellow card. Scrum now in favour of the Bulls. Stormers need to be careful here because, like mentioned, they do normally have rougher second halves. So with the fact that the Bulls, like I mentioned, if they can keep this close at half time, Anything's possible for them. Ah, man, I married Danny Boy. You also said you marry Eben Etzebeth. So if you had to pick out of the two Nazi Williams, who would you pick, Eben or Dan? Two very different individuals, I guess you could say. And also, was a farmer, he trained out on his farm lifting tractors. Yeah, nah. I don't think I'd even be able to lift a tractor wheel, let alone a tractor itself. Ambros Papia. Now goes back across to Johan Goosen. We'll kick it downfield, looking for the touchline. Doesn't find it though. Clayton Blommerkees takes it nicely. Stepping around one. Running backwards now. Good low tackle made by Kirtley Arnsa. And Teresa mate just quietly says nothing. Fair enough. I mean, I don't think anyone would judge you for it. Paul the vet puts it high now. Now taken nicely by Kirtley Arnsa. He's been good for the Bulls throughout this matchup. The thing I hope is that he doesn't get injured before the World Cup, because with a player like that, he's a game changer for the Box, and they need him there. And missed most of the first half. How did my boy Joe Dwebbs do so far? He's done well with the lineouts. He hasn't messed up a single one yet. We say yet because you never know, but yeah, currently hasn't messed up a single lineout. Also had a couple runs. He's been pretty solid, Joe Dwebbs, for this game, which is something we haven't said too often recently, sadly. Yeah, he looks like he is getting better. Now, going back across here, Hudson-Berg. In fact, it's Lillian Zas on the inside. Oh, he doesn't pass it to Paul de Vet. Now he does. Now, I said Paul de Vet would score in this game. It's not looking likely at the moment, but I'm hoping I could still be correct. Now, quick hands, rough pass to Engelbrecht. Picked up by Kanan Moody. 22 metres out for their own line now. And Papier, that's almost going to be a penalty, is it? No, not quite. Now, Hrubela goes across with the cutout pass to Cornell Hendricks. Chip and chase down the wing. It's going to be sitting up and just goes into touch for him. And you can see the size of Dan Carter's appendage on that Jockey Shorts advert. I wish I had one like Dan instead of this monster. They went in a different direction than I thought it would, Sebastian, I'll be honest. You had us in the first half. I'm only joking. People, okay, low, I love a woman, says Nazi Williams. It's like maybe... Geez, that boot's falling apart at the moment for Ben Jason Dixon. Almost three first names there. Ben, Jason, and Dixon's a first name, isn't it? Dixon. I'm trying to think of a Dixon. I think there's Dixons around. And I was like, yeah, it's nice here in Cape Town. Well, Bulls, naughty boys. Says, sorry for the apologies, just I had to drink. I had a drink with me snack. Says, Sebastian, no worries. It's just, threw me off it. Oh, why am I choking? I shouldn't be choking. I think I'm going to lose my voice before Christmas. I've talked way too much in the last few days, even though I haven't been streaming as much over the last few days, which is a shame because that Stars versus Scorchers game was a pretty decent one. Scott Dixon says, Nazi Williams, what about the first name Dixon, Nazi Williams? You know, any first name Dixon people? I feel like it would definitely be spelt like that rather than Dixon with the Dickson. John Dixon says RM. Yeah, few with last name Dixon. Any first name Dixon people we can think of? I feel like Dixon is a first name too, isn't it? Dixon someone. I know the Stormers will win. This one. Go, boys, says Charles. And currently a 3-point lead. At the moment, not sitting too badly. Joseph Dweber now line out throw. Straight enough again. He seems to like throwing it to Diamani. Maybe that's the combination that they've needed for a while now. Damien Valenza tries to spin out of it. Dixon Park. And there's us, says Drickus, sorry. And Amish, which WWE match type you like for X Hell in a Cell versus Money in the Bank versus Tag Team versus Royal Rumble? Probably Royal Rumble, then Money in the Bank in terms of that order, because Royal Rumble only about a month away. Keep talking, Amish. Don't stop. Your positive energy makes the world a better place. Straight up, says Nazi Williams. And I do appreciate that a lot, mate. And yeah, 2023, we have no plans of slowing down. The amount of streams we did in 2022, you'd probably think that we should, but we were right. Vocal cord still works. And I haven't learned sign language yet. So once I learn sign language, then maybe the voice goes away. I have to do I know that that's G. I remember we had to do G for goat. That was one of the sign language. A-E-I-O-U. So I've got like 6 letters. So I can just keep on going. Go. Go, just like that, all through the live stream, and then I just have to learn how to do like a Stormers. Or I'll just have a sign that says Stormers. We're good to go. I've only WWE allowed Sami Zayn to win the Royal Rumble and agree with Nazi. You're absolutely brilliant. Big respect to you, sir. Says Sebastian. Yeah, we got plenty of plans in the near future. I feel like, oh, that's a great turnover. That is something that I feel. But also, when you guys see the cricket live stream, or not the cricket live stream, sorry, the cricket GoPro footage, you'll probably learn that off live stream, I am just exactly the same as well. Like, there's one moment in that match that I feel like summarizes me way too well. That's going to be the penalty to the Stormers just outside of the 22. Beautifully done. But it's when I hit it back at the bowler, bounces into his hand, and he kind of goes, ow. And I end up apologizing to him. And I kind of catch myself afterwards saying, wait, I shouldn't apologize for doing a straight drive towards you. But he ended up apologizing to him. But also one of the New Year's resolution ideas and plans for 2023 for Hamish and the Kiwi lads. We did actually do that subject on the podcast. It's taken a long time to edit because the audio sounds terrible. We have 4 microphones set up and all of them ended up glitching, sadly. Do you have any links to watch? Sadly, only Spark Sport here in New Zealand, which is a bit of a shame, as anywhere else I think it's quite expensive. Like if it's in terms of South Africa, it is a lot more expensive to be able to purchase DSTV, sadly. But my New Year's resolutions, I realized when we talked about it on the podcast, in fact, we'll save it for 6 minutes time because that's going to be half time. And I feel like we'll be able to go a little bit more deep into it. Joseph Dweber, that one wasn't straight. Oh, we jinxed him. Unfortunately, that's about 3 out of 4 that he's got. He's disappointed. He should be used to that feeling of not throwing the ball straight by now, surely. And although, come on, Stormers, you guys are the best. Can't let the Blue Bulls come to your home and win. You guys can do better than this. And also, where's podcast uploaded? It's not uploaded yet. It took a long time, and it's still getting edited. At this stage, honey and hot water works well for your voice, says Betty B, and nobody beats Fuff with his South African flag underwear in the presence of royalty, says Nicholas. And Hamish, you have endless energy, super cool rockstar commentator. The Bulls creeping up. Watch out, Stormers. Says the roof there as well. Currently 5 minutes left in the first half, so they are slowly, they're still in this game, which I think is the main thing for them at this point in time. 40 meters out from the line here, the scrum feed for Ambrose Papier. Now it's going to be the advantage in favour of the Bulls. Diamani tries to jump on it, so they're forced the grubber forward to the game while you're doing your thing, bro, says Cameron. And there as well. Currently, another penalty goes the way of the Bulls. It's kind of done a seesaw for this last little while. It seems like the Stormers had all the momentum, and while they've played with only 14 men on the field, the Bulls have actually been stronger. And this time, Anama, bro, just show us the game, please. I can't. If I show any match footage or audio, they take us off YouTube for 3 months and we get copyright struck, which is quite a shame. So pretty much your only option is a subscription service. There aren't really any free options other than ones that give you viruses, sadly. Unfortunately, I wish you can reach 100,000 subscribers at the end of 2023. Get YouTube Silver Button Award, says Coding there. My mum, Kim, says hi. Says, Ollie, welcome, Kim. Hope you're doing all right. And also we have got there is Afrikaans, says Johan. I'm not too sure what it completely says there. I know Afrikaans in terms of that word, but not actually Afrikaans. And now, nice attack and run from Vermaak again. The Bulls sitting 15 meters out from the line here. Now 10, continuing to get a little bit further forward. Ambrose Papier goes across again. Vermaak, he's been busy in this first half. Dweber's been sat down again. Another nice run. Ambrose Papier, he missed the chance to pass that one. Unfortunately, the ball wasn't quite in his hands as quickly as he needed it to be. Ambrose Papier. I don't know who's going to be the player who breaks through here. I think they should go wide. Wouldn't be a bad option to get it out to Kurtley Alrinser again, because he's been close to scoring multiple times throughout this one. Now Mornay Smith receives the short pass. So far, the Stormers, they've been behaving themselves disciplinary-wise and now getting close. That's round the neck. And that would have been, oh, hang on. Now, they're going to be going back for the penalty advantage. You could argue the only reason the Stormers player was able to stop Heinrich Loh there was because he had him in a headlock on the way down. I feel like getting on the piss. We better try wait one more day, says Nazzy Williams. Oh no, he might have had just under the ball by the end of it for the Stormers player. I was crying last night. I missed my dad, Andy, because he went to Newcastle, England on December the 10th. Says Ollie Wilson there. Not Africans, says RM there. And also Faf du Plessis is a rock star with that blonde, beautiful wavy hair. And number 9 has never been so good. Just van der Westerhuizen. I remember brilliant, died of motor neuron disease, so sad. Says over there in Afrikaans, says RM there. Now it is going to be about 10 meters out. They will be taking on the 3 points. They could go into halftime 13 apiece at the moment for this one. And 33 likes, nicely done. Smash that like button and subscribe if you're new. Let's aim for 40 likes at halftime. Here's Birdie V. That kick has gone over 13-13. This game, a very close one at this point of the match. And now the Bulls, they are actually back to 15 men as well. I should mention they have been for the past 5 minutes or so. Stormers, they'll be disappointed to not have capitalized on the opportunities given to them here, because playing against a slightly lighter side, turns at 14 up against your side of 15, you'd like to think they would have got on their way through. Is there anyway watching this game on YouTube? Sadly, they don't have the games on YouTube, but they will have the highlights of this match that will come out in about maybe an hour or two's time. So be sure to keep an eye out for that, whether that's on the United Rugby Championship or actually Premier Sports, I believe, is the first one to upload URC highlights. So I would recommend checking that out. And also 3 points in it now. That's a big mistake, though, from the Bulls running after that ball, slightly offside. And now this could give the Stormers the lead back heading into the second half. Let's go, Ollie. That's okay to miss your dad. Hopefully he's back soon, says Nazzy Williams. And also we have got the Santa emoji from Bianca there. And Stormers no time to slow down, pick up the pace, says Megan. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Stormers are actually going to kick this one for the corner rather than going for the 3 points. That is a very admirable way of attacking, I guess. Willing to take on that little bit of a risk, try and get the maximum reward. 3 points that are now close. Also, we have got there, I forgot to like first, says Cider. We'll forgive you. Anyone else who hasn't liked the video yet, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We've got plenty more URC coming. That is the siren sounding. Joseph DeWeber now needs this line out to be straight. And that's nicely taken. Now the Stormers 10 meters out from the line, and they start the rolling maul. Now the Bulls have already conceded 1 penalty try off a move that went round the side, similar to the rolling maul. It's come out the back for Paul DeVette. Now Dan du Plessis drops his head. Driven back 5 meters or so. Stolen. No, it's another penalty to the Stormers. And Kekaha Ollie, Māori language, stay strong. There's Nazzy Williams there. A little bit of push and shove off the ball. Looks like Mani Labok will once again be kicking this one into touch. And RM said, I'm watching from Estonia and enjoying it. Thanks. No worries at all. And it's actually awesome how many people from around the world we have tuning into these live streams. Like, I think out of all the countries, we have surely crossed off at least 150, if not 200, which is absolutely incredible to think. So what is the time at the moment in Estonia, RM? Do let me know. Is it somewhere around 8-10 p.m. or somewhere around there, or is that slightly wrong? It's going to be stolen by the Bulls at line-out time. So the Stormers, they went for the risk, not reaping the rewards this time, but still a very good first half of rugby. You'd have to argue for the Bulls, really. Even though they gave away so many disciplinary issues, they still find themselves 13 points to 13 going into half-time. So I think they'd take that every day of the week, to be honest with you. Yeah, 13 points each. 1 try apiece for the two sides. 1 penalty try for the Stormers. And then the Bulls, they were able to score the try in the form of, I believe, I've already slightly forgotten who was able to get himself over the line. Who scored the try for the Bulls, ladies and gentlemen? Do let me know. Let's see if everyone can remember, because my brain's gone blank. It was round the side of the breakdown. Was it one of the forwards? Heinrich Loh, I think it might have been, actually, to get that try. Possession currently 68% in favour of the VODACOM Bulls. Territory the same, 68. Tackles made In terms of the tackle percentage, Stormers actually a lot better with their tackling completion rate, 89% rather than the 77. Oh, the Bulls and Nazi is that Chundan, French champagne. And there, as I says, Roof, and Ollie sending you love and good wishes. I wouldn't have a clue, Roof, but it tastes nice. It looks like Stormers were a bit of a drizzle towards the end of the half, says Sided. I see what you did there. And same as South Africa, says RM. Okay, so that must be 8:10 p.m., I believe, and AA231. 7 likes. Hit that thumbs up, please, says Yorandran. And it could turn around in a flash. Bulls charging. Stormers losing their momentum at the moment, says Ruth. And they have struggled to get that momentum throughout pretty much that full 40 minutes. I don't know whether it was the Bulls' defense that was stopping them in their tracks or whether it was possibly just some poor decision-making, I guess you'd say, from the Stormers. It certainly wasn't the clinical Stormers we're used to seeing. 195 countries in the world, Chief. Is there? Okay, so we haven't ticked off the 200 then yet. We are aiming for Antarctica, though, at some point, but that's not a country, that's a continent. Fun fact. And I mean, the Penguins probably need their Wi-Fi first as a halftime. Now it certainly has 13 points to 13 at the moment. If the ABs are playing South Africa next year, besides the World Cup, I know that they are playing them in a warm-up game 1 week before the World Cup starts. I'm not sure about the Rugby Championship, though, whether or not that has actually taken place. And are you from South Africa? I am not. I'm actually from New Zealand. So we're sitting 7:11 a.m. here in New Zealand. We've been up since around 4 a.m. for that first matchup that took place between the Sharks and the Lions. And we have been up ever since for the matches here at Twickenham. I think, going to be a big game, although it's a risky one for both of the sides. As playing each other right before a World Cup, smashing into each other, could end up with a few injuries. That's for that one. Also, we have got their Indy Chat, the thumbs up from RM as well. They've got some fire on the screen at the moment at the ground. Not sure what that's an advertisement for. I remember when the All Blacks at halftime had this thing for Game of Thrones. They must have gotten a huge amount of money to be able to promote it, and they were like shaking the camera and all sorts. And 13-all in the yellow cards. Bulls will feel more confident going into the second half. Yeah, if they've got 15 men out on the field, I think they're going to go pretty well. So Hamish, I was a bit off with the score. I said Sharks by 15, and they even stunned me. Didn't think it would have been so well played for the Sharks. Well done, Sharks. And you're not a smart move, says Dead Toe 9. And there as well. Yeah, it's going to be hurting them. But then also, I guess you want to try and build into it. New Zealand, they've got France, so I think they'll appreciate playing the Springboks in a game the week prior just to get one under their belt. Springboks in their first game. They have Ireland in their very first match. I'm going to have a quick look the way the World Cup set up in 11 or 6:10 p.m. here beard time. I'm 15 miles from Newcastle, says Eric. 44 likes. Let's get to 50 likes before halftime ends. Says Birdie. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's hugely appreciated. We've got plenty more rugby coming up in the future, plenty more cricket as well. The Proteas in action up against Australia in the Boxing Day Test match. We will be covering that one on the channel. Rugby World Cup is only 258 days away for anyone who is wondering when it has taken place. So Ireland don't actually play South Africa first. They play Romania. South Africa's first game will be up against the Scottish in there as well. And a bunch of Diamani runs with speed. Kirtley Arinsa tackles on the legs with no arms in front of the line. Penalty try. There's Ricardo. I did actually mention that at the time that I thought maybe they'd have another look at that just to check to see whether there was something more in it. But they did seem to go over it pretty quickly and say, no, we're all good. And it is still a try. Put up the teams again, please. One moment. We'll go like this. So the Bulls, will start with them since they are the home side. There you go. Oh, that's the Stormers. Sorry, I meant the Stormers because they're the home side. Do you know the guy who invented the knock-knock joke won the Nobel Prize? Nice. That was a good one, Chad. Rolls quite smoothly. Bulls play a second half game, just like South Africa does, says RM. So, yeah, this might be dangerous territory here for the Stormers heading into the second half. And there's some cars scored for the Bulls. He did, didn't he? Man who came off the bench down the wing. That might have been why I was looking through at the starting lineup. I was like, actually, who scored? You gave us a game prediction based on the first half. I'm still sticking with my original prediction, and that is Bulls by 5. I think it's going to be close. The other option was Stormers by 15. I said it's either Bulls by 5. But if the Stormers win, they'll win by a large margin. they haven't played like a side who's going to win by a large margin, though, unless something drastic changes. And I'm not feeling good about the cricket team. Batting is very, very fragile and inexperienced, says cited there. And also, we get that chat. That's funny. Knock, knock, says Ruth. And also, yeah, even me Bulls by 7, says Birdie V. But yeah, this is a Stormer side. Big player missing, Evan Roos. Other than that, relatively similar to what we could expect for the Stormers to have. Then for the Bulls, you can't see number 3. That is Mornay Smith, the player who you can't quite see with the Christmas logo. But other than that, I mean, out of the first half, Vermax had a few good carries for the Bulls. Heinrich Lowy got a yellow card. Maka van Staren also ended up with the yellow card, but the player of the back has definitely been Kurt Learinse. And then to an extent, you'd have to say Johan Goosen. Other than that one missed kick that did go straight into touch on the full, he's had a pretty solid game as the fly half as well. But now, looking through at the benches, this is somewhere that both of these sides need to make sure they get it right in terms of when to make those changes. The Bulls, they've got JJ Klitsia, Vermaak, Rocher, also Evans, Pokomela, might not be a mile off here for the Stormers. Then also Marcel Tennyson, Masimla, and Clayton Blomakis. He was actually on the field earlier. That was due to an HIA, I believe, but the player passed. So now Blomakis back off the field. At least that's what I think. We'll be able to confirm that in the second half. Then the Bulls, going to be Bismarck Duplessis, Martin Zima, Lombard Swanepoel, Nassim Carr, the try scorer, Zach Berger, Chris Smith, and Stravino Jacobs as the last man off the bench for the Bulls. Looking through at the way that the table sits currently, though, this is a big game. The reason I say that is both of these sides sitting on exactly 34 points. Not a big points differential between them either. Whoever wins this will sit in second at the end of this round. And then, theoretically, depending on if there's bonus points on offer and whatnot, the other team might be in third. The lowest that they can drop, though, would be fourth. That is if Ulster get themselves the victory over Connacht. And what is your predicted winner for the World Cup next year, says RM? It's a pretty tricky one to predict. And I think this year the World Cup's going to be closer than ever on next year's World Cup because a lot more sides look like they're in the hunt this year. Like, you could probably list about 6 or 7 sides that look like they've got a decent crack of being able to win it. Of course, home side France, it's got a lot of hype with them at the moment, a lot of momentum. South Africa, defending champs. You always like to think that a champion can go on and defend their throne elsewhere. So there's a good chance South Africa could go far in this next World Cup. The All Blacks, maybe, if they can find some form at the right time. And then also alongside that, I mean, the Irish have been looking pretty strong. You got an unknown England element to be added in there. The Aussies, maybe, if they can get some good stuff going and not have like 27 players injured in a series. And then, I mean, people, or the teams like Scotland and whatnot, you'd say still not going to be terrible, but unfortunately they've found themselves in the same pool, South Africa and Ireland. I predict a few upsets in the group stages. We can see a brand new champion, says cited. I mean, anyone in the Northern Hemisphere other than England, we would see a new World Cup crowned, or new World Cup crowned team, I should say. And so, Hamish, what's the plan for the day after this game, says Birdie V? So the plan is to sneeze. There we go. Tick that one off. Don't have to do it anymore. Plan, I believe, is going to be to stay up till about 9:30. So currently it's 7:18 a.m. here in New Zealand. So we'll finish this game at around 8:05, maybe 8:10. Then after that, I'll do a bit of tidying for an hour or so. Just get everything sorted pretty much for Christmas. And then I'm actually going to be heading back to bed since I only slept for 3 hours last night. I'll probably end up sleeping for about maybe 5 hours, somewhere along those lines. And wake up at about 2. Make sure everything else is done. Get some preparations done for tomorrow. And then I believe my sister will be coming home about an hour after that. So probably just a chilled out evening. And also, can you imagine if Foz wins the World Cup? Well, that's the thing. If Ian Foster wins the World Cup, that's going to make a lot of people confused. Because a lot of people have said, get rid of him. We need a new coach for the World Cup. But if he can somehow take out a World Cup, then everyone will be like, well, he's won a World Cup, but we still should get rid of him. And it will be a really hard scenario for New Zealand Rugby to decide whether or not he's the man to go with going forward. What's the score? It's currently 13-all, these two sides. about to make their way out of the field. Classy, a fly half, Smith or Hussen. Oh, Chris Smith kicking game, I think, is stronger in terms of general kicking play. But Johan Hussen, I think his running game is a lot stronger. And also just being able to find those next passes. So they're kind of a nice mix in a way. You got one who's a little bit more attacking and one that's a little bit more defensive. Personally, I prefer Hussen's style, but Chris Smith, very similar to Mornay Stain, I feel like can be the more effective manner out of the two. And awesome stuff, mate, says Birdie V. Yeah, we've got a bit of a day plan, but nothing too serious. I was hoping to do a live stream later on today for the matchup between Hobart Hurricanes and Melbourne Renegades. But yeah, with my sister just getting home after a long plane flight and a long drive home, I think I'll just maybe keep quiet for the evening. I'll probably just edit that cricket video, try and get that up before New Year's. And here we go. Bring this game home. Stormers, this half is ours. Says Megan, it looks like now the Stormers just about to make their way back out of the tunnel. Everyone wanted to high-five that random guy. And that, of course, wasn't Herschel Youngkies, the random guy I was talking about. He is also there, though. And also, will we see some drop goals for this match? Maybe one if we're lucky, but I don't think teams will purposely take on the drop kick unless they were going to take on the three anyway and they have a penalty advantage. I'm a little bit worried about my vocal cords. I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen. She's starting to cut out a little bit more than I would have liked. But looks like relatively similar starting lineups for the second half as they did have for the first. The only change for the Stormers, I believe, might be maybe Clayton Blomekis, if they have decided to stick with him. Right. It's going to be the Stormers kicking off the second 40 minutes of the match. It's a close one. Anyone's game in the second half. Now, game is back underway. Kicking long again. Actually, similar tactic to what we saw in the first half from the side kicking that way. Haven't seen a good drop goal in a while. Wouldn't mind a good old drop goal, says Sebastian there. Now the Stormers actually already able to get themselves one turnover. Marnie Lebok, ball on the outside. Looks like it's going to be a Willie Engelbrecht. It's up to the 22. Stormers already look like they've come out with a fire lit underneath them compared to that first half where they did seem pretty stagnant. Now a wide pass from Damien Williams. It does well there to take that one. Dion Fourie cuts back inwards. Oh, still looking for the turnover. Not able to get it yet. Paul DeVet now nice inside ball from Marvin Ori. Gives it to Kitsov. That's diving over the middle of the breakdown from Gerhard Stennekamp. Didn't connect with the ball. So it is going to be play on now. Angelo Davids tries to go down the wing. He's dropped that one. Okay, apparently he hasn't dropped that one. Diamani with the little chip and chase. Mornay Smith has to try and clean up. Is that a knock on? What's going on out there at the moment? There seems to be a whole heap of half chances. Sculler Heineken, Hamish, your voice will be back, says Nazi Williams. Although I might fall back if I had that much in one go. I just do one of those, what do you do? The swirling technique, isn't it? And also, tea with some honey will sort out that voice, says cited there. Great work from Mornay Smith in the end. He has knocked the ball on, but there was a lot of pressure there on another attacking scrum here for the Stormers. I thought there was a knock on from Angelo Davids up that top side of the field. I think he might have just been able to regather before it hit the ground. Oh, are they going upstairs to check this one? Penalty here. Oh, okay, so it's actually going to become a penalty for the Stormers rather than a scrum. That'll work quite well. Wait, no, actually it doesn't because it's actually a penalty to the Bulls for Diamani dragging Kurtley Arinsu back. Now watch your Hamish. There's Darren. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're excited for Christmas. Around the corner. Johan Wilson now getting to kick it downfield out of the 22. So far, Neil Powell is doing a pretty good job at the Sharks. He must just keep it up, says Ombre. And yeah, sometimes having a new coach does take a little bit of time for a side to get used to that style, but it seems like the Sharks haven't been too bad since Neil Powell got there. And they probably had a couple rough weeks, but then it seems like it has now started to get them on the right momentum train. 38 minutes left in the second half. Not a point can split these two sides at this point of the match. Now, the Stormers, they've gone more aggressive. That's going to be dropped. Did it go backwards? They say it did. Now, 40 metres out from the line, and Bros Papia gives it off to Mornay Smith. The tackle made on him. Now, Papia once again, this time back into the pocket, and it will be Johan Horsten. It looked like he was going to be kicking that one, but instead passes off to Cornell Hendricks. Nice overlap with the line on Mapo. Finds the pass on the inside. Good hands from Marinsa, but it's going to be ripped away from him. Another penalty for the Bulls. This time, it just seems to be anyone who's going that way just ends up getting a whole heap of penalties. I mean, he's what the Bulls, you would definitely lose your voice, says RM. And also, you need some Captain Morgan Jamaican rum with lemon honey and hot water, dash of pineapple juice. Works to soothe the vocal cords. Well, I do like pineapple juice. I might have to give it a look. Quite a combination though. Captain Morgan Jamaican rum. I'm not sure whether you could find that one day before Christmas here in New Zealand too easily. Okay, so the penalty now, Johanna Hulsen, 40 metres out. They decide to go for the corner again. You can see that they're slowly just marching their way down the field, and the Stormers, ever since that little penalty down the other end that cost them position and territory, it just looks like it's going to continue going. Can't wait for the Sharks versus Bulls game. Going to be a cracker again, says Andre. And yeah, that is next week, next weekend. New Year's Day for us here in New Zealand. New Year's Eve in South Africa. Going to be a pretty epic one. Now Johan Grola throws it in. It's gone through the hands, and Joseph the Weber able to clean it up nicely for the Stormers. Paul de Vet back into the pocket. Down to Mani Lebok. It's a good boot on that one. Gone down towards the 22 of the Bulls. Looks like now Kurtley Aronsa for a second. Looked like he might consider kicking. He's just been crushed by Kitsoff. I don't know why that would be the player you want to run at. I feel like that's like trying to run into a brick wall, and the hair's the same color as one. 38 metres out from their own line here. Ambrose Papia. Now, big shots put in by the Stormers. Their defence is looking strong. And when is this ref giving the Stormers yellow cards? Damn it, man. Says Birdie V. I think the thing that's helped them is that most of their penalties have been for different infringements. So that's where they've kind of, I guess, benefited to an extent. But if they do end up giving repeat infringements for the same thing over and over, then that's the chance of the yellow card. Looks like Kurtley Aronsa just staying down at the moment for a little bit with a bit of an injury. I would probably have an injury too if I ran straight at Stephen Kitsoff, because boom. The commentator has just said the same thing I did. Why would you do that? Why would you run at Stephen Kitsoff? Looks like this is a kickable 3 for the Stormers now. And I still say 3 points in it. There's Ruth. Yeah, it might be the difference between the two sides if the Stormers go for 3, which might not be a bad idea at this point of the match, just because it is getting that close. Right, Kurtley Aronsa has to go off for an HIA here by the looks of it. Now, from about 35 straight out in front, Mani Lebok. He's had a nice, easy day of kicking. Everything's been pretty much smack bang in the middle of the field. And what was that, ref? Says Bertie V. So I believe that penalty, I'm not sure what that one was for. I think it might have been for not releasing in the breakdown, maybe. All right, Mani Lebok to line up this kick and try to give the Stormers the lead here. Taking his time. He's taking too much time, though. Has he got in his own head? He has. Mani Lebok, and he's missed it away to the left-hand side. So that will remain at 13 points to 13 between these two sides. I think it's going to be going down to the wire right here. And Eric, cheers, buddy. Have fun. Says Ruth. And there as well. Okay, goal line dropout. Or in fact, 22 dropout here for the VODACOM Bulls. Horson gets some decent distance on that one. Nicely taken by Lebok. Gives it off to Damien Valimza. Moves up to halfway. Maka van Staden already getting a yellow card in that first half. Cannot afford to get one here in the second. Diamani, he's been very good throughout this game. Now, Paul de Vet goes back across. Stephen Kitsoff. Was he tackled high that time? High line on Mapo. He was falling into it, but it is still going to be a high tackle against him. Now, Lebok Kicks it in behind, nicely taken. They will be going back for the penalty. Same standards they've said. Kicks off. Lionel Mapo, yeah, once again, just up round the neck region, unfortunately. We've seen a lot of those throughout the last little while. Now Labok kicking it out. And Kapow, and he missed it, says PDV. Oh, he has done a decent kick there, down about 17 metres out from the Bulls line. Now the Stormers another attacking opportunity. Seems to be the seesaw if you get into the opposition 22 and then you give away a penalty and make it go the other way. It's happened multiple times throughout this match, and I don't think it's the last time we will see it happen for this URC fixture either. It's thrown in, long, nicely taken. Diamani, great American football pass towards, it was Paul DeVet, now Diamani involved again. Joseph Weber dragged down 10 metres out from the line on the Stormers, looking to attack. Hits off, bumping off one tackle. That was the tackle of Heinrich Lowe. Now gets back in the line. Big hit up from Dan Duplessis. I don't know whether or not his ribs will appreciate that. Now Weber over the line. The Stormers are in for their first try of the second half. Very well worked try for the Stormers. The penalty advantage went their way. Then from there, they kicked it into the corner and were able to finish the job. Come on, the Bulls, says RM. And also here in Auckland, New Zealand, I have South African neighbours. And so humble and kind. I use all like that, says Nazi Williams. And also the try, says Nazi Williams. It was the big man, Joseph Weber. Very fired up. Wouldn't want to get in the way of him. Yeah, extremely happy about that one, Joseph Weber. And Nazi, I smell sarcasm, says Dead Shoe. Now, 49 minutes through this match. Marnie Labok, nice easy kick, straight out in front. Gets that one over, and that will be 20 points to 13 now. And great Nazi, the very good people are pretty children friendly. And there as well says Ruth, and RM is not happy with the fact that the Stormers have scored, although if it's like the rest of this match, I think it's going to be a seesaw, and maybe the Bulls try could be just around the corner. But this is something that the Stormers have done pretty well throughout the season, and that is actually get towards that bonus point, get a few quick tries in a row, and then from there, they do manage to get that extra little bit of something on the scoreboard. And Webb's finally putting his guns to good use, says Cited. He's a massive tank, but he doesn't normally use them to the best of his advantage. But that was a good run. Crashing it hard. Now Diamani gives it off. Great hands from the Stormers. Here they come again. Like I just mentioned, when they score one, they normally score more. Angelo David's first ball on the inside. And Lillian Zass. In fact, it's going to be Hudson Berg who gets the try. That's 2 in a row now for the Stormers. I slightly, I guess, summed that up pretty well, that when they score one, they normally get another. I didn't think it would be within a minute. But that now makes them up to 25 points to 13 over the Bulls. Wow, that was quick, says Cited. Yeah, that was less than a minute. Pretty much their first phase inside of their 22, just attacking. About 7 or 8 players involved in that play. Just a nice pass. Ball back on the inside from Angelo Davis. The defence was lured in. The Wales are not bad, good size, says Jad. And you only cover these, Amish, you only cover these rugby or rugby league matches when you don't have cricket or international rugby. Says Coding. This is also rugby union though, Coding. But yeah, we do try and squeeze in as much as we can of the URC. The Gallagher Premiership is probably the competition that we have slightly not abandoned, but just haven't done as many of the live streams for in recent times. But then that competition at the moment with the teams getting taken away, it's a little bit of a question mark of what's next. Well, they won it real quick, says Nazi Williams. I was like, the Blitz. A world record quick, says Nazi Williams. And what says Dead June 9 here? They scored another try and they got another conversion. Now the score went from 13 points to 13 to 27 points to 13. And the Stormers, says Muniz, and I wish, it's weird Diamani wishes he was a winger. He certainly has some pretty decent pace. Could be one in a past life, perhaps. Zach Berger now out onto the field for the Bulls. Here we go, Stormers. Here we go. says Clayton. So now they only need one more try for that bonus point, which is what I was saying just before. They normally score a few quick tries in a row, get that bonus point secured, and then from there, normally the last 20 minutes doesn't always go their way, but this seems like the first 20 minutes of the second half is looking pretty strong. Dan Duplessis trying to break the line again. It looks like they're just going to keep on running it by the looks. So yeah, they are. Diamani again. Looks for the pass, doesn't find it. There was a player taking off the ball. Yep, advantage in favour of the Stormers. Now Paul DeVette gets it back. Now into the pocket. Marnie Lebock puts it high. It's going to be a 50-50 challenge. It's a knock on. And that will be going back now for the original penalty. Stormers all the way. Let's go, boys, and let's go, Bulls. Says Birdie V. 52 minutes gone on this one. Diamani has stated that they would play wing. A boy should be in the box score for the World Cup, says Drakus. Or Drakus, sorry. I keep on saying that slightly wrong, don't I? But with his current form, slightly hard to deny him that. Because, like, the thing is, the fact that he's come in for this match rather than someone like an Evan Ruiz, and throughout this match, I haven't seen one person mention Evan Ruiz other than me. That tells you how well Diamani's playing, because a lot of people normally would be like, it's a shame that Evan Ruiz isn't here for us. If Evan Ruiz was out there, you know, we'd be doing something differently. Not a single mention. And that tells you Diamani's had a great game. And Stormers will win this game, says Dino. Is that really the score? It is. It was 13-13 3 minutes ago, Carl, but then 2 quick tries. What's the schedule after this? We stream tomorrow and on Christmas. Says going, I believe our next live stream from here is probably going to be on the Boxing Day test match between South Africa and Australia. I think that is the plan. Now, Paul DeVette goes across, leaves a massive gap. Marty Lebock, wide cutout pass. Stormers now down the wing with Lelian Zas, who cuts back on the inside. Third try, bonus point for the Stormers. And just like that, Ruz is out injured. Back for next week. Mora is out for the season, says Drickus there. Wow, says CP. Oh, wow, says Cited. Yeah, another try. 3 in 5 minutes. And that's now a bonus point on the board for the Stormers. This is what they do. They score tries in quick succession. Who scored the try earlier? Says CP. So we've seen the try from Lelian Zas. Hudsonberg has also got one. And then there was a penalty try, and Joseph Dweber was the other try. Sorry, Bull, says your boy Yingwe. And also, the ball is bad, says Drickus there. And Buried says Dead Tone. They've said unbelievable 10 minutes. Unbelievable 5 minutes. 3 tries, 5 minutes worth of this game. That is how you change a game and put it on its head. And pretty much put it to bed as well. Almost got this one tucked in for the Stormers. I'm going to check the TAB odds now because I feel like they would have done a little bit of a seesaw. Ruiz is waiting for his diamond international games. There's RM there. And I was like, man, I wish we could see the Stormers versus the Crusaders right now. It would be a cracker. It would be an absolutely awesome game. That is for sure. Do the Stormers have a plane to catch or something? Says Cited. Yeah, they seem like they want to just get this game over and done with. Get those runs, get those points on the board. Go home happy. 32 points to 13. Kick to come. And it's a successful one. 34 points to 13 now. The Stormers are ahead. The second half, I mean, they've certainly put that question of whether or not they're a second half team slightly to bed as well. We said that they normally aren't as strong in the second, but I don't know whether it's the fact that the Bulls, they're just leaving so many gaps and the Stormers are making the absolute most of it. This game is ours. Stormers are with you all the way, says Megan there. So now for the Bulls to be able to go on and win this game, they are paying $26 as the underdogs. Oh, another sculled beverage from that man as well in the front row. He has spent about $50 so far on bevies for this game. Well done to the Stormers, says RM, and weather looks good. Behind you, Kiwi, says the Foxman. Yeah, that's on a nice day in Cape Town. That is unlike what we saw for the Cape Town Sevens final, where it was absolutely bucketing down and the game almost didn't happen because of how wet it was. The Buck is making himself an option for Springbok 10, almost stolen again. Hudsonberg's put it down. Going to be the knock on, and now the Bulls will have themselves the scrum feed. And Jake White getting exposed And also, I remember reading something, the Stormers were bad in the second half, says Skeptic. Man, I feel like that's now looking like it's not really the case for this game. And I said the Bulls are normally a second half side. Not this one. This game has not gone well for them. But Hudson-Berg, if he had been able to hang on to that, he could have been gone again. And maybe they need to catch a taxi, plane, or train all at once by this burst of pace they unleashed in the block. I couldn't get a game for the Sharks, ish, says Skeptic there. Yeah, still 24 minutes left. Who scored the previous 2 tries? It was Hudson-Berg, the first one, and then the most recent try was scored by Lillian Zuss. And I was like, cool feed, man. And Wales is in the freezing cold, says the Fox man. Yeah, nah, she'll be a bit chilly up that way. I'm actually going to Google quickly. What is the temperature in Wales? I know that Wales is a very large area, but 7 degrees Celsius is what you guys are sitting at the moment. We're sitting double that. That's not too bad for us. We're all like wearing a t-shirt during the night. We got up at about 3:30 for these games. Like normally you can't get away with just a shirt. You have to have a jersey or something over the top. But nah, it's been all right and quite nice. I thought you said 5-point win for the Bulls, says RM. I did. But do you remember the second half of that statement, RM? Because I kind of covered my own butt there. I said if it's a close game, the Bulls win by 5. But the Stormers, if they win this game, they win it by 15. So I feel like that second part wasn't a bad statement because I knew that if the Stormers were going to put in a performance, or if they were going to win, they were going to do it comfortably. I don't think they scored 3 tries in 5 minutes, though. That is once again not what I predicted for this game. And also, we have got their Bulls are mostly Dad's Army, so they may play it a bit slow and kill the pace. Now it's going to be the advantage for the Bulls. Only 5 meters out from the line. Zach Burger goes across the car, the try scorer for the Bulls in the first half. Driven backwards, drops the ball. And edges your bet so much. Clever cast to use, says Skeptic. How many times have the Stormers collapsed the scrum and no yellow cards, says Birdie V? I think they've had about 2 or 3 so far in this one. Looks like the Bulls want to take the quick dab. Zach Burger goes off to Nassam Carr. What a terrible pass that was, and it's a knock on. Willie Engelbrecht gives them a push in the back as well. And the Stormers, says Jolene. Right, that was not smart. If you're going to take the quick tap, at least let Nassim Carr get into position to run onto it. And that was the pass that hits him straight square in the mush, unfortunately. Should have been able to take that as well. Not going the Bulls' way in the second half. I think that is something that we can certainly agree on for this matchup. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more rugby coming up in the near future. It's going to be the URC next weekend. I believe we are going to be covering also cricket. South Africa taking on Australia. That will be from the 26th of December. We'll be covering it on the channel as well. And I'm sorry, says Hariam. And there as well. I was just strategic with it. I had to make sure that I did cover both ways. But I thought there was always a chance that the Stormers were going to get a lot of points in a hurry. But I thought the Bulls were going to put in more of a fight here than this, sadly. If 52 likes, smash that like button, says Birdie V. Definitely after that first half, having 13 men, or having 14 men twice in that first half, just being able to stay in there, I thought, okay, 15 in the second half, they're good to go. But they aren't good to go. And yeah, that was a bit of a hospital pass there, sighted. Yeah, just didn't have enough time to line that one up. That's going to be now the penalty going the way of the Stormers at scrum time. Down in the front rows. Another nice bit of work. It seems like maybe the Bulls supporters are starting to lose a bit of hope here. And New Zealand is 13 times bigger than Wales. Is that right? What is the population of Wales? Yeah, it's got 3.1 million people compared to New Zealand's about 5 million. So I guess that shows you how compact they are in Wales. Overall. And just like New Zealand, you guys have got a lot of sheep over there as well. And referee No Man says 30V there. Now it's going to be the line out for the Stormers. Right, we have seen some brilliant throws from Joseph Weber. He's only had one wonky one and 30 times for the country size, says XCT. So yeah, we got 5 million for the size of our country. And then you've got 3.1 million for country that's 13 times smaller. So I'm trying to work out the maths in my head That would be quite a bit of hard maths to do, but I'm trying to work out per kilometre how many people you've got. And who loves their sheep more, though? Says Skeptic. It's a good question. Oh, he's kicked his own player there, Paul the Vet. He's ended up actually kicking Dixon, which is a bit of a unique one. You don't see that too often. I know that at one point in New Zealand, there were like 3 or 4 sheep per person in terms of on average. And Welshman compact, short and stocky, says Eric there. Mm. Oh, I'm not the tallest individual, so I probably can't say too much, can I? Plus, you guys only see like hair up. So for all you know, I might have like 2 meter long legs, and you just don't know. That'd be quite uncomfortable. I think I'd have to like have a hole cut out of my wall. Big push there again from the Bulls. They're going to get themselves the advantage now. Zach Berger shut down pretty well by Paul the Vet. Yeah, under the ground, 22 meters out. Sam Carr goes short side once again. Vermaak. He's had a good game, Ruan Vermaak. Just a shame. Bulls haven't also been able to add more points and too many sheep around here. In North Wales, says the Fox man. Oh, here's one for you. The other day, we're a rural town, but there's no farms that close. There was just randomly a sheep walking, like one of the walking tracks next to the road, like just a sheep. I don't know where it came from, but it was just chilling. It was like, you know what, this is a nice day for a walk. Just escape the paddock and go for a cruise. And no one was doing anything about it. Everyone was like, oh, it's sheep. Cool. Lovely. And Bulls definitely not playing a second half game. Wish to watch it live to afford losing my voice, says RM. And take Hussein off, please, says Birdie V. And also sheep, says RM. But that's going to be kicked to the corner for the Bulls. Now an important line out throw for them here. I'm marching forward quite well, but a little bit offside from the Stormers. And don't get me wrong, even if they get themselves a decent amount of tries in this game and they get themselves a bonus point, there's still things that they will be trying to improve on before their next game, such as that disciplinary side of things. They've made a few mistakes that they could easily take out of their game, and that'll be what they look at before their next game up against the Lions. And Hussein doing great. There's Drickus. Now it's going to be passed across Harold Foster. 5 minutes out from the line. Here come the Bulls. Zach Berger. Short ball. Mako van Stauren over the line. 17 minutes left. Surely there's not a comeback coming. I know that's only the first one and nothing beats the South Africa lamb chops dry. And yes, please try the ball. And yeah, and they did. They get that try nicely done. Conversion will be successful as well, taking it very quickly and make sure that they keep on going. And Labok, better put some high heels on. He's kicking much better, Hamish. This goal kicking isn't up to scratch. Dan Carter used to have a 100 record. Says Roof, it is over. And now 16 minutes left in this contest, 14 points difference between the sides. So a draw's probably the most likely outcome here. If we are talking about a Bulls comeback, they would need 3 tries in the next little while, or at least 2 tries converted and something. I'm praying for a comeback, brother, says Birdie V. Marco van Stauren crashes over the line. Now, seems like maybe a few more subs being made by both of these sides just to try and work out what their tactic is for later on, getting those timings right. JJ Klotze on the field, also Willie Engelbrecht off, and that is going to be for, I believe, that is for Pokomela, who's made his way out there. And 38-12, we're close enough, says Gareth. You're not too far off. Well, the prediction, that's going to be a knock-on from the Bulls, though. That's the little things that they need to get right. Retaining a kickoff or collecting a kickoff, because now it's given the Stormers another opportunity. Junior Pokomela, his first carry of the day. Sam Carr tries to get the turnover, unable to do so. Great hands there from the big number 4, Dixon. Now to the left. Here once again, Mane Lebok goes across wide into the hands of Lillian Zas. Just throws himself at the defense. Now Paul David, no space on that short side. So with the sheep thing, you're not Welsh, says RM there. And also there's 16 minutes left, says Skeptic. Oh, those are quite large things that you can fall on. like those kind of advertiser hoardings. They look quite fun. Be able to jump on it. It's probably not as soft as it looks. Lelian Zas. It's a little drive down the wing. Then it was Paul de Vet actually. Yeah, it's come off Johan Goosen's hand. And then he ended up wrestling him over the top of one of those hoardings. Can't wait for a proper game between the Boks and the All Blacks. Well, it is going to be a warm-up match of the Rugby World Cup. They do play 1 week before any other game. Should be an exciting game at Twickenham. And I was like, well, that's the quickest try ever after the previous one. Great Stormers, says Ruth. And there's Johan Goosen kicks it downfield. Clearing the lines, but now the Stormers will have to line out once again, rather a sheep than a blue ball, says Gareth there. I guess it's more of the question of would you rather beef or lamb? Ladies and gentlemen, do let me know. Which one do you prefer? Or in fact, we'll go beef, lamb, or pork. We'll chuck pork in there as well. We will leave chicken out of it because it's kind of its own meat, isn't it? Chicken. No, not chicken. Pork, beef, and lamb. What's everyone's pick? Our rolling maul, Jadia Kutsia. Got it at the back here for the Stormers. They're trying to shut it down, but he didn't have the ball. There was a bit of a plot twist. Stolen by the Bulls in the breakdown. There's Sam Carr. And have a lot of support there. Zach Burger kicks it downfield. Found some space in behind. Looks like Lilian Zas runs back onto it. Fires it across to Damian Willemse. Didn't have a huge amount of time to kick it downfield, but has still been able to sufficiently do the job. Awkward bouncing one. Johan Goosen takes it nicely. 5 back across now. Nassim Carr. He's had a busy game since coming off the bench earlier on. Beef. Skeptic. And what about the second half win for the Bulls? As RM, well, it will be a very impressive last 20 minutes. They were able to get back into a nice little dummy from Johan Goosen. Great low tackle mate on Kurtley Arinson there by Dixon, though. Now, Ruan Nokia, forward pass. Forward pass. It was a forward pass. And she can run milk, clothing, meat, or supply knobbies from. Wow. Okay. Well, that will offend half the people watching. But it's nice work from Johan Goosen to wait for the perfect opportunity to then pass that ball away. Unfortunately, just forward off Ruan Nokia. Everyone's going to ask me if I watch the Stormers game. I'm going to say no, but I listen to it in between sheep talks, says the Fox man. I feel like we always get thrown off on these random night live streams or random early morning ones. Like at the end of the day, we get distracted easily, definitely when we're sleep deprived. Like I've had 3 hours sleep tonight. I'm definitely going to have to go back to bed throughout the day. It's supposed to be hot today, so that's going to be a bit annoying. What's it supposed to get to? We are supposed to get to, that's Sydney, so that's not me. Go this way a little bit. We are supposed to today reach about 17 degrees. That's not too bad. I see that tomorrow it's actually supposed to be quite nice as well, which is good for Christmas Day. Right, scrum feed going in again. 12 minutes left on the clock. Hey, Gareth, heard you're a bit of a fool, lol. Is that right? Says Crumpus. Two tries at the moment for the Bulls, so they do not have the bonus point. They need another 2 more. Don't write them off yet. Waves coming from Cape Town. Storms coming. Says Ruth. Now Paul de Vet. Feed the ball in now. And the Stormers won't mind this. This uses up all little increments of time. That's going to be whistle blown. Too much movement. They've said. Or the referee. Oh. Okay, they've just actually said that in the new year, they are going to definitely have referees concentrate a little bit more on how much time scrum takes. Try and get it done in 30 seconds, beef all day long, says RM. Bad Santa, worth a watch. I think that's a classic Christmas movie, I guess you could say. Another one that a lot of people watch around Christmas time is Elf. Seems to come out every once in a while for Christmas movies. Love Actually. Is that a Christmas movie? It is, isn't it? Is it a Christmas? Yeah, it's a Christmas movie. Was it a New Year? No, there's another one for New Year's, isn't there? But Love Actually, a Christmas movie as well. Right, advantage on the knees. Penalty advantage for the Stormers. Loose ball there. I think that's going to be another advantage for offside. Now Diamani, that's slapped down. No advantage. Going back for it again. That was a Hamish Live feed sponsored by the Merino Wallboard, says XCT. We actually did have a pet lamb in the backyard a little while ago. Didn't make it into any live streams. We had a group of 2 pet lambs, and I tried to get them to predict the URC competition, and they wouldn't. Unfortunately, like I had little treats on top of each of the bottles, and all of the bottles were labeled with URC teams. And if they were to knock over the bottle, that was going to count as that team getting knocked out, or even touch the bottle. But they wouldn't do it. They weren't behaving. So we never know who's going to win the URC. It might have been the Bulls or the Stormers though that they had in the end as the winner of the whole thing. Can't remember what way around it. I've got footage somewhere. And 600 votes in the poll, 300 watching. Who's voted twice? Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and the best Christmas movie is Die Hard. And Gareth has said, what's English? So now the Stormers strategically going to be taking on the 3 points. Now, this is a smart move. Just in case the Bulls do get 2 quick-fire tries, it still doesn't mean that they will be able to catch up with the Stormers, and it also uses more time on the clock. So perfect scenario. And also, you need to find educated livestock. Yeah. We had a pet lamb who was actually very good with a football at his feet. He could do like roll or like drag backs and whatnot of the ball. And also tried to go through a few cones. Fun fact. You wouldn't believe me if I just said that, but luckily I've got a video of it to prove it. Now, 47 meters out on the angle, Mani Lebok. Relatively tough kick here. And it's going to just come around. Yes, it does. Great shot from Mani Lebok. 37 points to 20 now. That's how this one is sitting between the two sides. Still another 8 minutes left. And also, so it's Drew Gareth. And this is Krampus. And sorry, I don't speak English, says Gareth. And Nate is coming. Hello, Nate. Early morning start for yourself. Are you working today, Nate? And if so, do you get time and a half? Do let me know. And you're lucky on temp -6 in Estonia tonight. Geez, that'll be a bit chilly, won't it? It's one of those interesting scenarios. You always get asked, well, you don't really, but you always have that question of, would you rather be too hot or too cold? And I think to an extent, I'd rather be too cold for temperature, because theoretically, you can always put more clothes on, but you can't always take more off. You know, not without getting in some real trouble anyway. And what's up, boss? How's it going? Merry Christmas, says Nate. Back at you, mate. Early Christmas Eve for us Aussies and Kiwis. And not too far away indeed. And go the Stormers, says Radar there. And Hudson-Berg on fire. Good passing, nicely done, says Roof. And while busy, still playing. Yep, Bismarck Duplessis. He is still there. And he still normally gives away a yellow card every once in a while. Nice run from the Bulls now down the wing. Not able to quite link up there. I believe that was Harold Foster with a beautiful run now, sitting 22 meters out to the line. It doesn't look like the Bulls are finished scoring for this matchup. Yeah, man, I try, have fun. I love to call it, says Gareth there. We do have fun, don't we, Gareth? 20 meters. Oh, and off to the short side. Chris Smith tries to give it to Nassim Khan. Another mistake. I think that bounced off Nassim Khan in an offside position, but they are going to say play on. And now the Stormers have got this one back. Marcel Tennyson with that one. Masimla goes across to Willemse. Relatively similar in the way that their names are set up. Now, nice cross kick straight into the hands of Lelian Zas, who has slipped. So Bismarck tries to get over the ball. Not able to. Still available. Now it's going to be Marvin Ori. Seen a huge amount of him. You wish he was a troll, Gareth. But trolling takes brains. No, he is a troll, Krampus. He has done quite a bit of trolling throughout the years. Trolling and strolling. You can tell that my brain's only half working too, can't you? And getting ready to Christmas shopping. It'll be a hectic day, says Nate. Yeah, hopefully you're able to find everything that you need. Another knock on there. I'm busy. Used to be a yellow card specialist, says Cited. Quick tap taken by the Bulls. They still think that there's a chance of a possible bonus point. Another handling error. Boy, these boys are playing with butter at the moment. Now, going to be nicely on the outside. Stormers, as my heart says, Jolene. So you'll be a very happy person at the end of this match, as they have had a much better second half than the first half. Only still 5.5 minutes left. The thing is, if the Bulls can somehow score 2 quick-fire tries, they'll get themselves 2 bonus points for this game. So that's what they got to try and work for. But now Clayton Blumenkies going to make his way out onto the field here. But are you okay, Krampus? Says Gareth there. It looks like now number 23 for the Bulls also out there. That is for Cornell Hendricks, and that will be Stravino Jacobs. Now made his way onto the field. I think both sides left their subs relatively late for this one. Our classic movie, yippee, Kaye Bulls. Says the roof, but I will mention anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more URC coming up. Also, if you are a fan of cricket, we've got the Proteas taking on Australia in the upcoming test match, the Boxing Day test match. And that is only just around the corner. And yes, if they don't, they won't. Says Skeptic there. Have there been any lineouts? There have been a few. Dwebo managed to get about 4 from 5 straight, which is actually pretty decent because normally he has 4 from 5 not straight. So massive work from Dwebo, who's actually also had a very good game throughout this matchup. But Bismarck du Plessis throws it in, stolen by Diamani. That'll annoy the veteran. Masimla across now to Mani Labok. Now Damien Valimza, forward pass out wide. And that is going to be going back now. And imagine spawning the Bulls, says Gareth, and the Bulls are about to be the new elves on the shelves, says Drickus there, and 38-20 or 38-12, come on. They're not a mile off. And Stormers, bro, says Jolene there. I wonder who decided that the referees can have spray cans with white in them, because it's been something that's happened in football for many years now. I guess now they've decided in rugby that maybe they're moving a little bit too much. More batting lessons needed for the Proteas. Embarrassing, says Skeptic. Although you haven't seen me bat yet. Video coming soon. I did have a GoPro on my helmet in a game that I did play in real life. That'll be coming out at some stage soon. And also we've got there -6 in Estonia. Isn't too bad for Christmas. Snow has melted. Oh, so you didn't quite get the white Christmas for that one. And also we've got there Groovy Baby. Don't buy the whole store. Leave some for the other folks. Enjoy, says Roof there. Now Zach Berger, 4 minutes left. Chris Smith back across. Can we get through some phases without a handling error from the Bulls? Kurtley Aronsa tries to go underneath Angelo Davids. Hasn't quite worked out for him. Zach Berger back across again. Almost a handling error, but André just lets it sit up into his hands. Now Stravino Jacobs. Big bump off of Junior Pocomelo, who tried to strip the ball from him. The halfway line now low once again. He was hit a little bit high by the Stormers defense. Tackle release. And this one now once again, Berger gives it back into the pocket. Chris Smith puts it high and wonky, I think is the best way of describing that one. It's going to be nicely taken. Though slap back onto the side of the Bulls. Brian the Snow, every opportunity I get, says RM there. Now Carr goes to Smith. Low, they've got the penalty advantage here as well. Still 3 minutes on the clock. The Stormers' defense overall has been pretty strong, but they have been a little bit quick rushing up. Noza Krampus, I like you. That's nice, isn't it? Nice little bit of Christmas spirit there between a couple boys, couple bros. Give one of those. One of those. That would have really hurt a few days ago from that sunburn, but luckily it's not too bad now. It just looks like my arms are kind of like purple, which they are. Bad circulation, unfortunately. In fact, I look completely purple. I can guarantee you I'm not as purple as I look, ladies and gentlemen. I might be more red than purple. Another mistake from the Stormers. Like I mentioned, it's that discipline side of things that I think they will want to work on just a little bit more. Yes, boy, says Jolene there. Now 10 meters out. The Bulls with the rolling maul opportunity. They score now. They still have a chance of getting 2 bonus points for this fixture. 1 try will not cut it, though. They go to the back. Nicely taken there. Now Noki has done well. Bismarck du Plessis, experienced veteran, got that one. Embarrassed the purple dinosaur. And there as well. Now around the side. Good run from Matanzima. 5 out. Zach Berger goes one more, spinning there, Maka van Stouren, looking for his second. Not able to quite do it though. Bismarck, he'll go himself. He's not passing this. Goes over the top. Did he get it down? He sure did. And the Bulls now get themselves another one. And have you liked the stream too? Says Eric, and I'm going to go Santa Mona and ransack the whole store. So there I go. And how are you, buddy? And Bulls should score from 5 meters out surely, and they have indeed. Mum, I'm on TV, this time for good. There you go. That's a nice sign in the crowd and the festive spirit of things. But now the Bulls, they'll have one last crack to try and get one more try on the board, and it would be a rewarding try. With that kick going over, it would put them within the 7, and it would also give them the losing bonus point. So, for the sake of their URC season, that would be massive because currently they walk away from this game with nothing. In the last minute, if they score, they walk away with 2 points, which and some would say is almost as well. It's not as good as a win, but it's pretty decent. Looks like Stormers taking their time walking back to the halfway line, needling for share. Swear he's only been on the field for not that long, and he looks like he's just run a marathon. But they're saying victory in the bag, 90 seconds left. They still need to convert. Says Skeptic there. Yeah, the conversion was successful, and you man obviously are up at all hours to support Hamish. Says Gareth there, and also up the Stormers. Says Nate. Right, it's kicked off long. So the Bulls, they cannot win this game, but they can get points. That's what they're going to be going for. Zach Berger going back across to Martin Zima, put him behind Chris Smith. Now Lionel Mapo, only 5 metres out from the line of the Stormers, jumping in the breakdown. That's the full-time siren. The Bulls cannot afford to lose this ball, but the Stormers might be able to extend their lead here if they're strategic. Zach Berger tries to go around the side of the breakdown, not quite able to get through. Now Martin Zima, the big man, gets driving. A little bit of skipping motion going. They want a penalty here, the Bulls. This game could go for another 5 minutes if there are no handling errors and no penalties. Now Zach Berger goes back across. Curtly Arinsa going to the short side. Oh, just driven out. There was no space down there. Kanan Moody disappointed. First touch of the second half. And that is the way that it ends for him. But that will be the end of this fixture, ladies and gentlemen. 37 points to 27. The Stormers, they will walk away with the bonus point, which currently the way that the table sits will close that gap just a little bit more with Leinster. They'll move up to 39, 4 points behind the side who are yet to lose a match of the URC. I believe those two sides, they come up against each other in about a month's time, so that will be quite an intriguing contest when it does end up taking place. And well, thank you all the mods, Gareth. All do a grand job. They certainly do. Moderators on the Kiwi Lads channel, they are very elite. That is true. It's about time. Ball scores. And yes, the Stormers says, Jolene, another great stream. Thank you. Great job. See you next stream. See us, Chad, an awesome stream, mate. And Merry Xmas right back at you, Birdie. Look forward to seeing you after Christmas Day. Getting ready to go for the Boxing Day test match. And Stormers full value for that result. Bulls not bad. Just need more energy, says Skeptic. See, that's the thing. One more try, they would have walked away with 2 points, and I feel like they wouldn't have been absolutely disappointed with that result. But the fact that it took them, took them too long in that second half to find their feet again. Nice one, Amish says XCT. Yeah, and the man of the match is actually Stephen Kitsoff. Yeah, for the Stormers. And also we have got the Stormers. And also go Stormers, well done a little bit earlier on from Megan. And over and out, says Eddie in the chat. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. Thanks for the chats, guys, says the Fox Man. No worries. And we will be back, like I mentioned, for more URC in the future, for more rugby, a little bit of cricket, or in fact, a lot of cricket coming up in only a couple of days' time with South Africa taking on Australia for the Boxing Day test. Pakistan versus New Zealand also coming up. And yeah, a bit of rugby thrown in there as well. Man of the match, Stephen Kitsoff did manage to get that one. And was close, says Gareth. Yeah, it was a relatively close game in the end. Stormers, they scored those massive 3 tries in 5 minutes. And also, can't take it, says Krampus, although he seems to be the one who's a little bit more chill at the moment, Krampus, out of the two of you, just from an outside perspective. And Spicy Plum says Skeptic there. And Bulls needed another 40 minutes to win, says the Foxman. Yeah, the third quarter or the third of this match could have been a different story, I guess. I want one of those man of the match badges. They look quite cool. Those medals. And 51 points second half and no yellow cards. Yes, it's certainly a high scoring one for the second 40. It may not be a win for my Bulls team. Well done to the Stormers and what a game, says RM. Yeah, at least it was a high scoring, relatively close match at times. I think that's exactly what everyone wanted as the last match that we can cover of the URC before Christmas, but there is still another couple matches coming up. I believe it is going to be Ulster versus Connacht. And also there's another match that has taken place as well. But both of them aren't being shown here in New Zealand. Sally and Crumpers, have a great Christmas. Says Gareth, and I'm good, Nate. Nearly that Christmas time. Ho, 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 have a good one. Says Ruth. And there as well. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Merry Christmas, Kiwi, says Yandrin, right back at you. Merry Xmas, folks, says Yarn HB. And there as well. But yeah, hope you guys all have a very good Christmas. I've just realized we haven't actually got another live stream until actually after Christmas Day. So currently we are sitting 8:10 a.m. Christmas Eve, maybe about 36 hours for a few of you guys before you get to Christmas. But do have a happy and safe Christmas. It's been quite a year on the Kiwi Lads channel. We've got plenty more coming in the near future, but hope you are enjoying the festive season. Enjoy time with family and friends, and I will see you all for Boxing Day for the cricket, Proteas versus Australia.